Nothing's happening.
Kala ko makakalimutan mo na naman, sir.
Oo nga eh. Yun. Ed, don't forget, we have our speaking every Friday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Noted.
Okay.
Sir Ed,
So,
when is your exam, Sir Ed?
April yan, Sir Ed.
Next month.
April. No, sir. March.
Ed, are you joining the close group for Jeddah?
No, sir. I cannot because I need the results by March.
Oh, okay.
End of March. Sorry.
Yeah, but you haven't even hit halfway in writing, Ed.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Why don't you just join, and then if you pass the March exam, then you can just back out. As easy as that. Okay. Right, Ed. There. So, this is now IELTS Einstein, our Facebook page. And then for the benefit of the newcomers like Balot, like Rose, Rose, you click on these groups there. Also for the benefit of others who have not done so. Okay. So if you can see these groups over here, you have the British Council closed group, you have the certified dream catchers, and then you have the writing, reading, and speaking closed groups there. So for the writing closed group, if you join that, then wait. Abigail, yeah, Abigail needs this. Abigail, are you part of this already? Abigail? Hi, Abigail. Can you hear me?
Yes po, sir.
Have you joined this already?
Yes po.
You have. Okay. All right. Muriel, are you planning to join a closed group? Muriel?
No, sir. Nag-join ba ako?
I just saw you join. Okay, anyway. All right. So for the benefit of these newcomers like Rosemary and Abigail, these are the videos from the previous week's lessons. I suggest that you go first to A1, A2. Okay. I will point you out to the... Okay, these are some of the postings from your classmates. Okay. So, there. Okay. Task 1 writing. There. So, go back to December 13. That's talking about... No. You go to a week earlier. December 6. There. We talked about the A1 and the A2 style. There. Okay. Kat, we don't have anything for the listening. It's actually in the reading group. There. Okay. So the A1, A2, December 6. For newcomers, I recommend you go to December 6. And then, wait guys, why don't you just ask me? Okay, you don't want your voices to be heard. This is going over YouTube. Whoa. And then on the following week, December 13, we now go into crossovers there. Crossover styles there. Do you follow, Abby? But don't worry, I will demonstrate this today. Balot, Rosemary, do you follow?
Hello? Yes,
Do you
sir.
follow, Rosemary?
Mm-hmm.
So December 6 and December 13. And then, I think we repeated those lectures by the following month. No. This is December 20. That's the A1 and A2. Watch that video as well. So this one is just a repetition of the lesson from December 6. And the following week, December 27, we had the crossovers again. So this one is just a repetition of the lecture from December 13. Okay. These videos run at around 2 hours each there. Oh, crossover styles. Okay. All right, all right. But the real lessons are on YouTube there. So, um, yeah, like today's lecture, we will upload it over YouTube there. So, and then you can see the description for each one of these videos there. But when it comes to A1, A2, plus the crossover styles, we discussed that in December 6, December 13, December 20, and December 27. Okay. So these are the trappers, the discussion on the trappers, and this one is the discussion on the multiple problem solvers. Okay, these are really nice videos. Okay. So don't forget, guys, go back to these videos and watch them before you go to sleep. I tell you, you're gonna fall asleep. That was funny. Nobody even laughed. Anyway, okay. So let's go into the, yeah, my students, they don't even know the courtesy laugh. Huh. Okay. So this is our lesson for today, adjunction. Okay. This is going into YouTube. So what do I do? Here, here, here. Okay. So Lian, what was your definition of adjunction? Lian. Lian.
Connective words or
Connective
phrases?
words. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do these words do? They connect. What do they
They
connect?
connect one ideas to another
Okay.
to show the flow of ideas.
Nice. Can you give an example of that, Lian?
I'm not sure with this. I might not give you a good answer, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah, just.
Nevertheless,
Okay.
is that it?
Very nice. Very nice. Okay.
Is it included? All right.
Yeah. So that's what you call a later. We're gonna discuss it. So adjunction is the appropriate use of subordinate clauses. So when you say subordinate, who wants to define? Who wants to define subordinate? Anybody other than Lian? Faith, let's go. Close groupers, let's go. What does subordinate mean? So I think he is subordinate. He is in a subordinate position. Anybody? Anybody? I'm not gonna tell you. Wait, the video is running. Subordinate, Lian, can you save the class?
Lower position, sir.
As in a lower position, si Kat, oh. Yan. I'm sorry, Kat, I do not have access to the chat. So a clause that is subordinate to a main clause. So allowing the extension of a clause with a range of sentence structures and displaying the ability to move elements around for focus. Okay, whatever. So this is what we're gonna be discussing today. So we study linguistics. So that's what you call the main clause or the independent clause. Okay, you follow? You follow? So that is that consists of the subject we, and then the verb study, and then the object linguistics. Okay, so if we were to attempt to show sentence complexity, then we will add more to the sentence. So what's next? We study linguistics at the University of the Cordilleras. Okay, that's in Baguio, guys. At the foot of SM, which is located in Baguio City in the province of Benguet, which is one of the provinces in the Cordillera region where, if you notice all of these underlined words, they are the adjuncts. where the richest culture of our country can be found, reflecting undoubtedly the uniqueness of our heritage, which is expressed completely in UC itself. What a long sentence. So we study linguistics at the University of the Cordilleras, which is located in Baguio City in the province of Benguet, which is one of the provinces in the Cordillera region, where the richest culture of our country can be found, reflecting undoubtedly the uniqueness of our heritage, which is expressed in UC itself. So at is what you call a a preposition, which is a conjunction. In is a preposition. There's which again and in again. Where is a pronoun. Of is a preposition. Reflecting is a gerund. And there is which again there. All of these underlined words are adjuncts. Okay. So far, so good. Making sense?
Yes, sir.
Now, if we move the base clause to the bottom of the sentence, to the end of the sentence, that's what you call now moving sentences around, moving elements around for focus. So I can actually say, at the University of the Cordilleras, which is located in Baguio City, in the province of Benguet, which is one of the provinces in the Cordillera region where the richest culture of our country can be found, reflecting undoubtedly the uniqueness of our heritage, expressed completely in UC itself, we study linguistics. Do you understand? Follow, people?
Yes,
You like
sir.
it?
Yes, sir.
You like it? So
Yes, sir.
all of these are what you call subordinate clauses, and they are subordinate to the main clause over here, which is we study
Dependent.
linguistics. So they are all dependent on the
Main clause.
main clause there. So take note that subordinate clauses cannot survive on their own. So you cannot have a sentence like, which is located in Baguio City, period, there. So that is now what you call a fragmentary sentence or a hanging sentence. So similar to life, right? It's like your children or whoever is dependent on you. They cannot survive on their own. Similarly, in linguistics, we need the main clause. So all of these, they work in PAL. What does that mean? They all work in PAL. What does that mean? PAL.
Public Attorney's Office.
Good guess. Go, go, go. What does it mean? What does PAL mean? PAL, Philippine Airlines. What does it mean when I say? Yeah.
Listening skills.
Yeah, what does it mean? They all work in PAL. You don't know that joke?
They work together. They work together. They work hand in hand.
No. Come on, does anybody know the joke?
No.
They work in PAL.
Oh my God, here
No.
comes the joke.
Our humor is off.
Come on, you people are boring. Okay. So like, when somebody asks, where do you work? Yeah, I work in PAL. And then they go,
I see. Gotcha.
Yeah. So what's PAL?
So it's feeding the other part of the sentence. Is that it?
I don't know if I'm the only one who's heard of that joke, but as far as I know, it's a running joke. So PAL means palamunin. Damn, what's wrong with you?
Started a joke.
God.
What's wrong with you? You haven't heard of that joke? Damn. Like I have a cousin, he works in PAL. He's palamunin.
It's like 19 kupong joke.
No. No.
You're old.
No. No. You're
old.
You are all, what's the term for it? You are all unaware.
We're all millennials.
You're all You're all boring. There. So we have the conjunction with the continued apathy displayed by the people. Displayed is actually preceded by which is another conjunction, which is displayed by, well, we don't normally pronounce it anymore. With regard to the changes which are wrought by global warming.
Wrought like brought by?
Wrought, yes.
They're synonymous?
Wrought.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The future of man presents a bleak forecast. That is now your independent clause. Do you follow? But preceded by all these adjuncts. These are the people who work in PAL. That's funny, huh? Palamunin. That was funny. You people are boring.
Participate na lang.
Yeah, my students here are so boring. I mean, you can go kill yourself. Anyway, and then we can continue the sentence. And so that's the conjunction ends, introducing now another complex clause, unless the appropriate steps are taken by the people, beginning from the overhauling of their utter disregard for the only planet they have. We are now going into another independent clause.
Apocalypse.
The world is doomed forever. Do you follow? So this is the subject, the future of man. The verb is presents, and the object is a bleak forecast. This is the subject, the world. The verb is doomed. That's the passive voice, and then forever. There. Okay. So typically something that you write in an essay, right? I mean, it's just a paragraph. It's one very long, complex clause made possible by adjuncts. You're loving the lesson, guys? You like the lesson? Is there anybody still awake? Hey.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, did you see that? Did you see that? How the independent clause moved to the front of the sentence? The future of man presents a bleak forecast with a continued apathy displayed by the people with regard to the changes wrought by global warming. And unless the appropriate steps are taken by the people, overhauling of the utter only planet they have, the world is doomed. A compound complex clause. So compound means combining two things together. So you have two complex clauses. Complex clause one over here, and then complex clause over here, and then we combine the two together. There, you now have a compound complex clause. So adjunction is the process of extending a base clause. Okay, what happened? Or independent clause or an ordinate clause through what happened? The use of adjunct markers which authorize the expansion of the base clause. What's happening? Via the insertion of a relative clause or the dependent clause or subordinate clause in order to cover more relevant data in one sentence.
How is it, sir?
I don't know. It just animates by itself. I don't know. There's something wrong with our programming. Okay. So adjunct markers may include prepositions in, at, on, to, by.
Ang sarap ng talong mo.
Okay. Uy, sarap daw ng talong.
Ay, sorry.
In the UK.
Lol.
Lol. Wait, what's that in the UK? Does anybody know?
Sir. Sorry.
Does anybody know? What's that in the UK?
Aubergine.
Everybody, yes.
You're so good. That's aubergine.
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 Oh my god. Oh my god.
Aubergine. Oh, Miggy. Okay.
Oh, Miggy.
Miggy.
Aubergine.
OMGs. Oh, Miggy. It's not difficult to a hardworking student. There. So your ordinate clause or dependent clause is, independent clause is IELTS is not difficult. So you can also extend and a sentence and a clause and a staff. Sorry. You can extend an independent clause with the use of interrogative pronouns. So interrogative pronouns include who, when, where, and which. IELTS, which is not difficult to a hardworking student. And you can also use conjunctions like and, but, or, nor, and that. IELTS is not difficult, but requires a lot of practice there. And you can also use gerunds, all verbs ending in ing that act as nouns there. It's not difficult realizing that it's a test that mirrors the real world. Okay. It's not difficult needing only constant dedicated practice there. Okay. Follow. So a simple sentence consists of a simple subject verb object. IELTS is recognized worldwide. Your verb there is recognized, the passive voice. And then when you combine two simple sentences together, you now have a compound sentence. IELTS is recognized worldwide, and tests cost, oh my God, by the time I created this PowerPoint, it was still at 9,000 there. So, and now is the conjunction, combining those two simple sentences or independent clauses. And then complex sentence now is SVO with the adjuncts, the beautiful adjuncts. IELTS is recognized worldwide, costing 9,000. And a compound complex clause is there a question? Did somebody posit a question? Okay. I don't have access to the chat. Anyway. And two or more SVOs plus the adjunct. Was there a question? Could you just voice out the question? I somehow am unable to look at the chat.
Is there a question? None, sir. It's just that eccentric SV is flooding the chat group.
What is eccentric SV talking about? Eccentric SV is like subject verb SV.
Who is she? Who is he? Huh?
Cap from Baguio. Okay.
Baguio, okay.
Yeah. I should recognize worldwide, costing 9,000, and is administered in many parts of the world. Okay. So
she's been bombarding the chat group.
Yeah, she's bombarding the chat box. It's advised that students always show a range of sentence types from simple sentences to compound complex sentences. Okay. I think we're going into examples now. Ooh, an actual IELTS Band 8 essay sample. In many countries, people no longer wear their national costumes. They are forgetting their history and traditions. More people should be encouraged to wear their national costumes every day. Could you
I love that.
Yeah.
I would love that idea.
Is this a one-sided question or a crossover?
It could be a crossover.
Question? It could be a crossover, so it's not.
It could be. I mean, we do wear our national costumes during special events like Buwan ng Wika.
Yeah, but looking at the...
It's cool. It's cool.
Is it one-sided or... Just looking at the proposition itself. Is it one-sided, guys?
It is.
It is. Okay. Only Leon's the one answering. Okay. So it's a one-sided question. So what are the options to hurdle a one-sided question? If you agree to it, then what do you call that?
A1 style.
You have the kill.
Style. If you disagree to it,
A2.
It's A2.
It's now A2. A2 is how many steps are in the process of the A2 style?
Kill and kill and bury.
How many steps? In order to
How's that, sir?
perform the A2, how many steps do you need?
Oh
Can
my
anybody
God, I
answer me
forgot.
that question?
To be
Depending,
honest, I forgot.
say for example, we just have to kill or kill and bury. We have to agree.
So at the very least, how
kill
many steps do you need?
2.
Is it
2
3?
steps.
2 steps.
At the
Oh,
very
2.
least,
Okay, right.
at the very least 2 steps. So in performing the A2, you first have to cite the agree arguments and then you kill it with the disagree.
Yeah.
Forget. So for Abigail and for Rose, our new classmates, these are the first lessons that you will learn, A1 and A2 styles. But in this, so A2 is really more complicated because it's a 2-step process. You first have to cite the agree arguments, and then that's when you cross over to the disagree, killing the agree. Yeah. But when you agree to it, you can just simply agree. So let's read the Band 8 sample. Okay. So the reason why this writer scored a Band 8 is because of the sentence complexity. Almost every country has its traditional costumes and national dresses. Some are comfortable and some are difficult to handle. So these are basic compounded simple sentences. That's one simple sentence and that's another simple sentence joined together by the adjunct. By comfortable.
When are we going to use the word has, sir? When are we going to use the word has? I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Has, you use has, for subjects that are replaceable by he, she, or it. There. So
okay, because I just saw a video over YouTube, BBC video, and the title of the video is "What Has Happened to Princess Latifah?" So why did they put has there? What has happened?
Because the subject there is what. There. So
is
what
is it grammatically incorrect if we say what happened to Princess Latifah? But I put it on what has happened to Princess Latifah.
When you say has happened,
I just get confused.
Called the perfect tense. And you guys go back to that lesson on the perfect tense. I think that's video number 35. I'm not sure. And then when you say what happened is just a simple past. There. So it's
okay.
It's a matter
since
of,
they put on has,
it now has become the perfect tense. There.
Past perfect
I think
tense?
it's better to say has happened. The perfect tense is really beautiful. What has happened?
What has happened?
What has happened? Yeah. So
I don't see the difference, sir. I'm sorry.
Leon, go back to that
I don't
lecture.
see the difference.
I think that's video 35. That was a really nice video. A lengthy discussion on the perfect tense there. Perfect tenses are tenses that show an action or state whose relevance extends over time. Oh my God, it's a time traveler. You watch that, Leon, you'll love it. Okay.
I'm sorry, sir.
That video 35 on YouTube.
All right.
There. Okay.
We'll check on that.
Okay. So some are comfortable and some are difficult to handle. Look at that collocation. Difficult to handle. By comfortable, I mean a dress being comfortable enough to be worn daily for your routine work. If we take the example of Pakistan's traditional dress shalwar kameez, so we can now obviously infer that the writer is Pakistani, one of those British colonies. And one can see that
they are
there. So you now have this discourse marker, although it is a very comfortable night suit, wearing it for your office work, traveling on a motorbike, or a laborer working on a construction site, it gets quite uncomfortable and dangerous. So these are your independent
disadvantages.
But that's a subject, the verb, and then the object, quite uncomfortable and dangerous. and preceded by all of these adjuncts. So this clause, if we take the example of Pakistan's traditional dress, preceded by the conjunction if, and then that's another base clause. One can see that. And then this is now another adjunct, although it's a very comfortable night suit. That's another adjunct preceded by the gerund. Wearing it for your office work, traveling on a motorbike, or a laborer working on a construction site, it gets quite uncomfortable and dangerous. And then because of its design, so again, that is another subordinate clause, fronted at the because it's like your conjunction of its design shall work camise can obstruct various errands. That's your base clause. Like cycling, hiking, and especially after traveling, the dress becomes quite messed up and untidy. If you compare these to regular pants and a t-shirt, I believe they are the best piece of clothing to be worn for many different purposes. So we can see that this writer really has strong skills in creating complex sentences. There, particularly the writer is fond of like fronting, fronting an adjunct. Look at this clause because of its design. It's at the front of a sentence. Look at this. If we take the example of Pakistan's traditional dress, again, it's an adjunct that has been fronted, and then the base clause falls somewhere in the middle, like this one. One can see that, and then at the end, it gets quite uncomfortable and dangerous. Here's another instance of fronting. If you compare this to regular pants and a t-shirt. Any questions?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. Go.
Regarding complex sentences, sir, is it true so that for writing task 2 or even writing task 1,
Right.
you supposed to have like at least 4 complex sentences for you to score a band 7? I don't know if how.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good question, but I tell you guys, all you need to do is cardinal rule 2 and the correct problem solver to score a band 7. These are just extras, so to speak. All right. These are just extras. So what happened here is the writer was able to.
I guess no matter how
Go, Diane.
I guess no matter how complex your sentences are, as if you are not going to answer the question, I mean, you need to address the.
Right. So
you're not gonna score 7.
Yeah. So in the case of this writer who this came from a Cambridge material. So this band 8 answer is a combination of all of those factors. There was cardinal rule 2, there was the correct problem solver, and then complemented by language, which now explains the band 8. It's kind of similar to speaking as well. Like the person has collocations, the person has vocabularies, the person is fluent. That's when the person suddenly begins to hit band 8. Band 8 is really the level where language already kicks in. Do you follow? But if your target is a band 7, you don't really need collocations or idioms or heavy vocabularies. You just have to have clean language, like good tensing. Just be normal. Do you follow? Normal speaking.
Yes, sir.
Sir, question.
Okay. Yeah. Is there a question?
Yes, sir. Sir, would there be any difference if instead of using commas, can you use other
like symbols? Like the M dash?
Semicolon.
Like the N dash?
Colons. Yes.
Okay. Okay. When do we use a semicolon? You use a semicolon when you have two ideas that are closely related to each other. If you ask me, Kat, semicolons are really just more stylistic. I mean, instead of using a period, you use a semicolon instead. But the two ideas separated by the semicolon are actually, they are both independent clauses and they are quite related. So just separated by a semicolon. If you want, I'll try to do that later because I'm going to be demonstrating. In fact, you can use a junction a lot for task one, particularly. So I'm gonna sample task one output for you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So clause combination flaws are the faulty combination of sentences in an unsuccessful attempt to show or display grammatical sentence complexity. So, okay. Let's just go through this quickly. The students love their friends and they wouldn't expose them to them. How would you correct this, guys?
Them to them.
Yeah. So you're trying to show sentence complexity. You're combining these two independent clauses with a conjunction and they wouldn't expose them to them. Could you like improve that? You know, these are actual student errors from the essays that I've been checking. These
You
are
want to remove.
Yeah.
Them is redundant for you. You want it to remove.
Yeah. How can we improve it? These are what we call reference, like pronouns like them refer to a antecedent, right? So which them does this refer to? The students love their friends, and they of course would refer now to who does it refer to? The students or the friends?
The first one is for the students, sir.
The students.
And
So
then
instead of
is the students.
They is the students. So instead of repeating the students, it sounds quite redundant. We now use the pronoun they, and wouldn't expose
their friends to them. Their friends to them.
They wouldn't expose their friends to them. So the students love their friends, and they wouldn't expose their friends to them. So them now refers to somebody else, right? Somebody else outside of the sentence. So careful when it comes to sentence complexity. It creates what you call referential problems. I think we're going to encounter more of these. Hold on.
So Kath has a different version?
I'm sorry?
Kath has a different, she has a different version. She just sent it to the chat box. Yep, she said.
What's the version of
students? The students love their friends and they wouldn't be exposing one to another. Would that count, sir?
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's now more grammatical. And I guess the answer now depends on the intent of the speaker, the writer there. But grammatically speaking, it's also a right answer. The manager expects him to be truthful, honest, and loyalty. Could you correct that, please, guys?
Loyal.
And loyal.
And loyal. Okay. So you're trying to coordinate all of these nouns and then suddenly you mix it up with an adjective. Kind of messes up the meaning there. Maybe have loyalty. Have loyalty.
Yeah, have loyalty.
Okay. And then the witness is without fear in what she says and her actions. Improve that for me, please.
Can we just omit the word her?
Yeah. What she says in
the witness
is without fear in what she
says.
No. Could somebody improve that for me? Guys, I gotta hear your voices. I can't see the chat box. The witness is without fear in what she says and
acts.
Acts could be.
Yeah, in what she says and acts, or what she says and does.
And her acts.
I think it's better to coordinate what she says and does. What she says and what she does.
And acts. And does.
What she says and what she acts. Yeah.
Okay.
Los Baños has more rain than sunny throughout the month. Really trying to coordinate or coordinate sentences together creates some form of problems, right? So more or less when you try to coordinate clauses together, there has to be a similarity between them, which makes the coordination possible. So Los Baños has more rain than sun throughout the month. This is a noun and then suddenly this is an adjective there. So it kind of creates problems.
So what would be the correct version of that?
Los Baños is more rain than sun throughout the month. More
All
rain
right.
than sun throughout the month. Erap was an actor, a mayor of San Juan, and became president. Erap was an actor, a mayor of San Juan, and
Is it should
became.
be, isn't that supposed to be becomes? Or am I
Became
wrong?
president, became. I think the sentence is okay.
Becomes?
Became the president.
Became the president. Yeah, sentence is okay.
The sentence
My
is
favorite
okay.
pastime is swimming and read books.
Reading.
Reading. Yep.
As soon as we arrive, we want to see the newborn cubs of the tiger. Could you correct that for me, please?
The newborn tiger cubs?
The newborn tiger cubs. As soon as
That
we arrive, we
acceptable?
want to see the newborn cubs.
We wanted
We
to see.
to see.
We wanted to see the newborn.
Yes, we wanted to see. This adverbial time clause is indicative of the past action. So the verb should be, adverbs always match the verbs. As soon as we arrived, we wanted to see. Cooked in sweet and sour sauce, he set the table. That's a problem.
Wow.
So how do we correct this? Cooked in sweet sour sauce. I don't even know how to correct this. He set the food on the table. Maybe. Because cooked in sweet and sour
there's
sauce.
something missing. There is something missing.
So
he set the food at the table.
He set the
food at the table.
On the table, cooked in sweet and sour sauce, but he fronted that adverbial clause, that adjunct, cooked in sweet and sour sauce. So the antecedent.
He set it on the table.
He set
it on the table.
The food. I think we have to mention the food, right? Cooked in sweet and sour sauce. He set the food on the table. He learns a lot from writing.
Could be a human.
He learns a lot from writing every lesson.
It could be a human cooked.
Wow, what's the problem here? I want to learn more. He learns a lot from writing every lesson. And wants to learn more. Wants to learn more. Wants. Pacquiao gives a lot of donations, like a hospital. Could you correct that for me, please? Remember,
Pacquiao gives a lot of donations, like in the hospital.
I'll give you a tip. It's really a punctuation error.
Yeah, there is a punctuation. It should be comma.
Comma.
Yeah, it should be comma and.
Because adjuncts like
there's a word. There is a missing word.
They cannot survive on their own, so you cannot really periodize something like that. So we have to make it attached to a base clause with a comma here. Maybe it's even better to say Pacquiao gives a lot of donations, like hospitals. Yeah. And we reviewed for the IELTS exam and they were difficult. Let's go, guys.
It was difficult.
It was difficult. Okay.
Why is it like plural?
Yeah, so this is what you call a reference, which does not match the antecedent. So if you notice when you...
They is like...
When you kind of combine clauses together, suddenly there's the rule of, you know, it's similar to subject-verb agreements. There has to be agreement between the two clauses. So they cannot replace IELTS exam because IELTS exam is replaceable by the pronoun it. We reviewed for the IELTS exam and it was difficult. You need to prepare the materials first because it is hard to find.
Unless it says we reviewed for the IELTS and NCLEX exam.
Right.
Included an NCLEX.
Correct. And they were difficult.
Yeah.
What about this one? You need to prepare the materials first because it's hard to find. Did somebody correct something there for me?
Because that's hard to find? That is hard to find?
Yeah.
The word
possible.
sir.
So it
They
should
are
not
hard.
be replaced. It is supposed to be the uh, the referent for materials. So that's clearly a mismatch. So material should be now replaced by the pronoun they.
That
They
they
they are
they
They.
they are hard to
They are hard
find.
to find. You need to prepare the materials first because they are hard to find. Making sense? Making
Mhm.
sense? When you have good
Uh,
health, we should
yeah.
feel.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah,
Kat.
sure.
Kat wants to say bye.
Cat. Okay.
Kat is about to
Cat,
leave in
just catch up
15
on the video.
minutes.
Okay. Just catch up on
She
the video.
says she'll have to fetch her mom. Yeah.
Okay.
She'll be back as soon as she get back home. Okay.
Okay. And then I prefer coffee. Let's just go through the rest of this quickly, guys. I prefer coffee while studying because it keeps me awake. Tom did a
Uh-huh.
lot of writing tasks with Jerry and he improved quickly. He is a problem there.
Mm-hmm.
So Tom did a lot
Who's
of
he
writing
talking about?
tasks with Jerry,
With
and
Jerry.
it depends on who you're referring
And
to, right? Who is he?
Tom, I guess.
The latter or the
Tom.
former improved quickly, something like that.
Mm.
The students realized that practice is key, which is very true. So you just put a
The punctuation.
punctuation, a comma over here
Yep. Should be
in
comma,
order.
yeah.
Yeah, this is what you call a fragmentary sentence. The figures rose sharply in 1 year. Similar. It's a similar case. Okay, there are many problems in the essays, like in the use of modifiers. So,
Yeah.
guys, I'm gonna leave
That's
out, right?
punctuation.
And then I'm going to go into drafting an essay for everybody. Here, I have to fetch mom from work. Oh, okay. There. Okay, so we are now in IELTSexam.net. So I will now demonstrate for you guys. You want a task one, writing task one. There. Do you want me to do that? And then I will demonstrate for you. I will create an essay for you, a task one essay, and then somehow displaying sentence complexity. So which one is more complex? Is it a bar graph or a table? Maybe a table is more complicated. Yeah. Meaning there's a lot of information. Oh, look at that. Top 10 countries with largest population in millions there. Okay. Ooh, I like this, guys. You want me to do this? Do you want me to do this? Am I gonna do this? Are we gonna do this? Am I still online? Hey.
Yes, sir, please.
Sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes I feel like, I lost my connection because nobody's even replying. You boring people. Okay. And then I will do my version of this one and then let's compare it with the model answer. Okay, so tan, 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 tan. And then later let's do task two as well. Okay. So you like this, guys? You like this lesson? Looking forward to this?
Mm.
Okay, we still have 30 minutes. Oh, I'm so happy. There, so the top 10 countries with the largest population in million. So, so guys, when you say 1,439 million, what you actually mean is 1,439,000,000. What a trapper. What a trapper. And the 2100 projection is China is going to go down to 941 million. Meanwhile, for India, 2019 has 1,380,000,000 people, but 2100 projections predict that this is gonna climb to 1.5 billion people. So I'm gonna cluster those two together and I will describe them in one complex sentence there. Do you understand? Okay. And then let's move further. For the United States, they have 331 million people. So that's gonna climb to 478 million, but they will be overtaken by Nigeria. We were just talking about Omigi. Omigi. How do you pronounce FYI? Fee. How do you pronounce SMH? Sama. Sama. Wait, what does the acronym SMH stand for again? What does the acronym SMH stand for? Ooh, boring people. What's the answer? What does the acronym SMH stand for? Am I still being heard?
Shake my head.
Shaking my head, sir.
Shaking my head. Sama. Sama. OMG becomes Omigi. Okay, so I'm gonna cluster Nigeria and the USA together. And then what's next? So I'm gonna mention Pakistan later. I'm focusing on changes. So we will mention Indonesia and Brazil, but they will eventually be overtaken by Ethiopia and Tanzania. Okay, there. And the Democratic Republic of Congo, DMR. That's my third cluster there. Okay, the rest I will not see the need to mention anymore. Okay, so my first cluster is these two there. And then my next cluster is USA, which will be overtaken by Nigeria. Next cluster is this one. That's going to be my cluster. So for every cluster, I will describe it using one sentence. Make sense? Make sense? And then we will have a corresponding overview statement. Okay, so here goes, guys. Oh, Miggy. Oh my God. What a funny video. Okay, so the table displays information containing countries, the top 10 countries with the largest number of people, comparing 2019 figures with projections for 2100. So guys, this is your base clause. The table displays information. That is your base clause. Do you see that? This is now an adjunct containing the top 10 countries preceded by the gerund over there. This is another adjunct with the largest number of people. And this is another adjunct comparing 2019 figures. And this is another adjunct with projections for 2100. Do you follow, guys? For adjuncts, following, I will underline the adjuncts instead. Are there any questions? There are no questions. Oh, Miggy. Okay. There. So I will now go into the overview statement. So what's our overview? So clearly that shift, changing of positions between China and India is significant. But I will also highlight that these developed countries or developing countries like the USA, Indonesia, and Brazil will eventually be overtaken by third world countries. They're particularly from Africa. Oh man. So in totality, making sense there. So in totality, wait, hold on. I'm just having problems with the key. In totality, that is an adjunct by itself, preceded by the preposition in. Two clear trends surface from the study, with the first being the fact that India will eventually overtake China as the country with the largest population. While many developed countries will ultimately lose out their ranking to the countries from Africa. Oh, Miggy! Okay. So, that is an adjunct. Making sense. And then this is your base clause, two clear trends surface from the study. This is an adjunct with the first being the fact that there. That's another base clause. India will eventually overtake China. This is the adjunct as the country with the largest population. And then that's another adjunct. While many developed countries. Oh, okay. This is another base clause. Many developed countries will ultimately lose out their ranking. And then that's another adjunct to the countries from Africa. Making sense? Okay. And so, any questions? Am I going to go on? Let's proceed with this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's the tense for this one? Clearly, this will be what tense? Dead giveaway. The tense here will be
Past tense.
It will be in the past. And here, the tense will now be
Future.
The future tense. But alternately, I'm going to try something, which is the future perfect tense. We discussed this in video number 35, if you remember. So let's see how that works. So in 2019, China topped the survey with, these are now what you call nominal traps. So you cannot read that as 1,439,000. That's really a clear trapper. So that's clearly 1.4 billion with the 1.4 with slightly over 1.4 billion people. Followed closely, that's the adjunct, by India at 1.3 billion. There. Okay, if you want, let's continue the sentence. With trends projected to experience a reversal, comma, where India by 2100, you see all those commas, will have eventually overtaken China with projections at 1.5 billion. So can you imagine the repercussions for nursing, right? People, and China expected to drop to under the billion mark. Okay.
Good luck, China.
Good luck, China. Fuck China. So that's their independent clause.
China is stupid.
China top the survey.
And they're gonna watch it, and they're gonna watch this video over YouTube. Good
Yeah,
luck,
you're
China.
gonna watch this video over YouTube. Aw.
Yes.
So that's your independent clause. Top the survey. And then adjunct with there. Then follow. This is like which is there. Followed closely by India. Adjunct. And then adjunct again. And then adjunct again. Do you see, guys? Adjunct again. Adjunct again. Wait. This one is now what we call the next independent clause. India will have eventually overtaken China. That's your next independent clause. And then this one is an adjunct. There. And there's another adjunct. Okay. Let's move on. Should we continue this, guys? Are we gonna continue this? You wanna see how this works?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. In 2019, the United States came in a distant third at only 330 million citizens. And though this figure is projected to increase to 478 million by the next century, Nigeria will still have overtaken the US.
OMG.
Oh,
A lot of tutors. The Nigerian tutors.
Nigerian tutors in vocabulary. We'll still have overtaken. Sumo. With projections at
good luck. Good luck, China.
What a funny video. Okay. Is that clear? And then, so that's your base clause. The United States came in at a distant third. That's your adjunct. I tell you guys, it's gonna make you score really high. And though this figure is projected to increase to 470 million by the next century, and then that is your base clause again, Nigeria will still have overtaken the US with projections at 730 million. Okay.
Sir?
Oh my God.
Any questions? Any questions?
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah,
so
Vic, go ahead.
just US is just is okay. For,
yes, US is okay, UK, something like that. You don't need to put a period on this. It's an acronym, so it's okay.
We can
like
use
UN.
Task 1.
Yes, for task 1, that's perfectly all right. Let's see
the Americans.
Answer. Yeah, let's see the model answer later, Vic. I'm sure the writer will be using something like a US. Okay, like a UAE, right? Or like UN, yeah.
The KSA.
KSA, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Okay, and then finally, so what are we going to mention? Indonesia and Brazil. Finally, Indonesia and Brazil registered. What's our population? Our population is at 100
million. 110 now?
110 million, yeah. There.
Wow.
Yeah.
Makes sense why America is dying to be our ally. Because we have the numbers. In numbers, there's power.
Right. So Indonesia and Brazil registered approximately similar ranges. at 274 and 213, 274 and 213 million, but will similar to the United States, see their standing tall, owing to the rise of the African countries of the Democratic Republic of Congo. And together with Ethiopia and Tanzania there. So if you notice, guys, I have been writing complex sentences all throughout, right? But what I'm gonna do next is to write a simple sentence in order to show a range, making sense. So, like for example, this is complex.
Okay.
And there, so the but will see their standing there. All of those are adjuncts. Making sense? Any questions? Somebody's washing plates. Oh, Miggy! Okay.
Sorry, that was me.
Okay.
I'm the
Ian,
domestic
can you go on
goddess. I'm
first?
sorry.
Oh, Miggy. Fee.
Adulting.
Okay, together with Ethiopia and Tanzania. And then in mentioning Pakistan, I will say Pakistan's figure will rise by approximately 100 million, but will retain its position. Okay, its ranking. Okay, that's it, guys. That's the end of it. I don't think we should mention the rest anymore. We should choose to filter out anything that's irrelevant. So how many words did that run? Okay. There. So I didn't see your question, Victor. Okay. So I'm sure this is already in excess of 150 words. So there. 217 words. Okay, not bad. So I just want to use, let's use Verdana. I like Verdana a lot. Okay, and then what we'll now do is we will compare it with the model answer. Learning a lot, guys. Enjoying the lesson on adjunction.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Of course.
Again, let me emphasize, the more important criteria are task response, which is cardinal rule 2, and coherence and cohesion, which refers to the problem solver. Make sense? Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's it. That's the essay there. Okay, let's now go to the model answer and see how good the writer is. I really love the writers in this site. Look at that. Okay, let's copy paste these 203 words. And let's see what kind of cluster the writer showed for this one. Okay, there. There. Okay. Let's label it as model answer. Okay. Leon, that's a lot of plates you're washing. Okay.
Yeah, perks of doing the remote learning, you know?
Okay.
You can split yourself into two.
Okay. Multitasking.
Indeed.
Okay. So the table compares the population of the world's top 10 countries in 2019 with projected numbers in 2100. In 2019, China had the highest population of 1.439 million, with India second on 1.380 million. However, by 2100, India is projected to have the highest population of 1.551 million, with China second on 941 million. And then there's the conjunction which was not written anymore, no, down, which is down 419 million since 2019. And then he's moving on. Although the USA is projected
He
to
used the end dash.
Yes, the dash.
He used the punctuation and dash. Yeah.
Yes, it's stylistic, just to emphasize, just for emphasis.
Yeah.
Although
but it's
the
the
USA
same as
is,
comma, right, sir?
it's just the same as a comma. Although the USA is projected to increase its population, but with a dash like that, there's greater attention, right? You're drawing greater attention to the final phrase there, so it's stylistic. Okay.
Okay.
Although the USA is projected to increase its population from 331 to 478 million, we kind of have the similar thought, right? So that's an adjunct by itself. And then this is your base clause. It steps down from 3rd to 4th place. And then there's the gerund being overtaken by Nigeria. And then there's the pronoun which moves up.
The Nigerian tutor.
With Omigi there. And to a total of 730 million. Representing my God, guys, what a beautiful display of sentence complexity. If you notice that, whoa, sumo.
Where? All of these.
So your base, sumo.
Oh my God.
Omigi. So this is your.
I can't stop laughing.
Yeah. This is your base clause. It steps down from 3rd to 4th place. Everything else is an adjunct. Beautiful. Omigi. And then in Coke, how did he pronounce Coke? Siyoki. Siyoki. How did Coke become Siyoki? Anyway, and then Brazil drops from 6th place in 2019 with 213 million, and then down to 10th in 2017, a decrease of 36 million. Okay. And then let's see what he added here. 3 of the top 10 most populous countries in the world will no longer be among the top 10 in 2100, and all 3 will be supplanted by rapidly growing nations in Africa. Wow, what a nice way of phrasing it.
Wow.
China and Brazil.
He used the word supplanted.
Supplanted, you're right. Yeah. Except for China and Brazil, all other projections show an increase between. I can't stop thinking of the Nigerian. But there's a significant shuffling of position by some countries, the elimination of others, and the introduction of new contenders for a top 10. My God, this is really a beautiful answer, Omigi. Beautiful. Not only the model of a sentence complexity, but even the way he just encapsulated the data is really nice. There will be a significant
flow of sentences.
A significant shuffling of position by some countries, the elimination of others, and the introduction of new contenders for a top 10 placing. Whoa, man! Whoa! Okay. And then let's save this document, and then I'm gonna send it to you, and then we're gonna watch that video of the Nigerian again. Okay, so let's now do a task 2. Okay. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Let's do a task 2. Some people think that people who work hard should be paid. Ooh, somebody replied. Okay. Pasendo kay Jack. Yun. Jack, are you joining the closed group? You should. April. Jack.
She's from Riyadh.
She's from
the
Riyadh.
Middle East.
Yeah,
Jackie. She'll be joining.
Okay. April. Let's end this by April. Okay.
Paper-based.
Okay. Let's do this. You want?
She said she'll be Paper-based.
Yes, sir. Paper-based, di ba?
Paper-based?
Mm-mm.
No CDT.
Jack, can you answer me this? Bakit pag FB nasa computer ka? Ha?
Sir?
No. But
OMG.
OMG. You don't like computer-based, but when you're on FB, which you are on all the time, you're always using the computer.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Are you having some anxiety over some, advances in technology? It's like, are you more comfortable with paper-based? Are you like, you feel like you're more
answering
control?
Computer. Especially reading.
Yeah, but when you're on FB,
just not a techie.
Jack, when you're on FB, you're reading all the time on FB. Hello.
I think, sir, right?
Yeah.
If we're going to, if we're, for those who will be joining the closed group, I think the British Council will be providing a tutorial on how to use the computer
and there's a lot of
delivered test, right?
videos.
So there's no way
there's a lot
you're
of
gonna have
videos
anxiety
on YouTube. It's in the private group.
And
I
there
don't know if
are
you have
online materials.
Okay, so never mind. Let's not mess with them. Omigi. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here, guys, is something some people think that people who work hard should be paid the same as people who are highly qualified. To what extent do you agree?
These are two different topics, actually.
Actually, it's just one, no, Lian. I'm just one.
I mean,
it's yeah. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. You're right. Those who work hard, meaning they don't have qualifications, right? Do you understand? Do you understand? And then those who only have the qualifications. Can we use nursing for this? Is there an analogy for nursing for this one? Is there? No.
Yeah, because there is because in the Philippines they value a lot the seniority in the hospital.
No, but like somebody comes in, just happens to be qualified. Is there such a thing? No. No such thing.
In some institution, I think.
Okay.
Some institution, I think.
So what I'm gonna do, guys,
here.
Yeah.
Carry on, please.
I don't think it's.
Hi.
I don't think this applies much in nursing, does it?
Someone's talking, sir.
Maybe a specialized area, sir, pero I don't know if it's that.
As an
institution, maybe. Those specialized areas like ICU.
Actually, sir, in the USA and in the UK, as long as you are qualified, regardless of your age, you will be on that position. But I think in the
we're not talking about age, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No.
So I'm
remember
off topic
earlier.
now.
Remember earlier we were talking about in the UK nowadays there's no more requirement for the bedside experience, right? Correct. We were talking about that earlier, right? Maybe we should use that as an example here. So what's going to happen now is you can now easily get to the United Kingdom even without bedside experience. All you need to do is to pass the IELTS. That's your qualification. But you do not have the necessary bedside experience. Those are the people who work hard. Is that clear? You follow?
People who work hard should be paid.
Yeah. Like before, how many years of bedside experience did you need to have before, pre-pandemic?
At least 2 years.
3 years.
3 years of bedside.
3 years for special area, sir. If you are,
Other than that.
Special area, 3 years. But bedside, ideally should be at least 2 years.
So now
for a special area like dialysis, ICU, ER.
I think pre-pandemic it was just a year, right? All you need is a year of bedside.
To be honest, it varies.
Oh, generally.
Depends on the employer.
Generally speaking, NMC. What's the requirement of NMC?
In the
Come on,
UK,
people.
there is no requirement for experience from the NMC, but the employers, the sponsors, the trust who will hire you, they might ask. That's why some recruitment agency.
Pre-pandemic, what was the requirement of NMC? None.
Still, no experience. They changed it.
Oh, okay.
I think by
Never mind.
year 2018, I think.
Okay, so this is where I'm going to do an essay, guys. So for the introduction, I will just rephrase all of that. Simplified, guys. Simplified.
So the notion.
Course, yeah. Go. Question.
So the notion is saying that. So
yeah.
the notion is saying that people in higher positions are not working hard as much. Is that it? Something like that, right?
You just happen to have the education, right?
Yeah.
Which now makes them qualified. You know, I used to work in McDonald's, so we used to have this, like there are people in McDonald's who were promoted to their positions as managers. So these are people who went through the ranks. But we also have managers who just came from college. They just had the right qualifications. So should you pay these two people the same?
First is, I think, sir, we need to qualify. Let me qualify the first part of the notion. Some think that people who work hard. It doesn't mean that people who work hard are not qualified.
No, but you have to make you have to make sure that the two arguments are exclusive of each other. Is that clear? So you now have to make the assumption that the people who work hard do not have qualifications. And similarly, those who are qualified
and they are linked.
They do
are
not
actually
work as
intertwined.
hard. Is that clear? Mutually exclusive. That's why it's a crossover. All right, right? Okay. Making sense, making sense. Are there any questions?
Yes.
Are there any questions? Sioki. Like, how did he pronounce Nike? How did he pronounce Nike?
I forgot.
We gotta get back to that video.
I forgot.
Okay. Anyway, so
maybe because Sioki is that's how they pronounce it.
I don't know if that was a joke or is that how they really
maybe that's how they read letters in their country.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe that's how they read letters in their country.
Okay.
Much like in the Philippines.
So guys, I'm gonna demonstrate now.
All along I thought tomato was wrong.
Right. Okay. It's so British. So this is the introduction. There is a running controversy.
When I was in elementary.
Wait.
Nike.
Okay, somebody chatted. What was the question, guys? I don't see the chat. So there's a running controversy as regards to
she just
payments of workers in an organization. Wherein, do you now see how sentence complexity plays in task 2 writing? There are those who claim that hard workers should receive just compensation separate from should be paid the same as people who are should receive just compensation equivalent to, so all of these, this is like which is, but we just don't type it anymore. Equivalent to the compensation received by people with the right qualifications. There. This essay will examine this issue in depth. Okay. Making sense, making sense. As simple as that. That's your introduction. You just rephrase everything in the question prompt there. Rephrase all of that. That's it. So we will now talk about
Oh my God.
people who work hard should be paid the same as people. So let's talk about people who work hard first. There. Okay. Some people may not have the correct qualifications. Perhaps owing to their relative unfortunate socio-economic status in society, hence making it difficult.
So it's like
for them
it's like wealth pay gap.
Yes.
The wealth pay gap.
The
income
gap.
inequality.
Income inequality. Right.
Yeah, income inequality.
Hence making it difficult for them.
Like black people are getting paid less than white people. Yeah.
Or women
because of their education. Because of their educational attainment.
Or women who work the same position as men but are paid less than the men do.
That's gender pay gap. Yeah, the gender pay gap.
Yeah. So hence making it difficult for them to acquire the right education necessary to attain a given rank or position. This is sentence complexity. Do you follow, guys? You see?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Perhaps owing to their relative and hence making it difficult for them to acquire the right education necessary to attain a given rank or position. There are those who claim that owing primarily to their hard work ethic, these people deserve the same rate, the same pay grade as those who were fortunate enough to be born with a silver spoon. Okay. Oh, okay.
In their mouth, yeah.
Yeah, silver spoon in their mouths. There. Okay. All right. Let's push it further, guys. Let's defend the idea further. Yeah, that they should be paid the same. Okay. Being born poor is beyond a person's circumstance, and these people should not be punished for not having the right qualifications, given that they could not possibly afford such. Notwithstanding, with their dedicated work, I think I'm being redundant. They are able to attain the same relative results expected of those who were educated. Okay, this is now the agree argument. Do you follow? Remember, we're doing the A2 style. The A2 style is a two-step process. Agree, then kill.
Agree and then
disagree.
Disagree. Yeah.
That's A2. So there's no such thing as a one-sided disagree. When you disagree, it's always agree and then kill disagree. Okay. So I'm gonna kill all of these arguments there.
Okay.
However, I don't like what I'm doing. I don't want to kill the argument, but I just want to sample the A2, guys. Okay. Doesn't mean that I believe in this. I'm just conforming
For
to
the
a
sake
structure
of
for the sake of conforming to a structure. So now, however, education does have its reasons there. Okay. Many
I am
positions.
seriously having
What? Wait,
I'm seriously having anxiety attack because of my
What?
OCD with the margin of the paragraph. I always write paragraph in justified.
Okay.
That's
Wait, Jackie, that's the advantage of computer delivered. I mean, you can just type away and then you can write 500 words if you wanted to, right? But
I don't
handwriting.
know my visual satisfaction. Like, with my essays, right? It's always like
Oh,
obviously I'm
yeah.
OC. Like
Okay.
I couldn't write the way you do.
Okay. Just to satisfy the obsessive compulsiveness of
Like
Ian, let's marginalize. Let's make it a square. Okay.
Oh my god, now I'm satisfied.
Okay. So, however,
And you don't need
education
to
does
count
have
the
its
words, right, sir? With the
don't
computer
need to count
delivered.
the words because you can
You
just
don't need
type
to count the
away.
words.
You can double or
Yeah.
triple the word count in so
Just
short
type
a
it.
time. Yeah.
Type the hell out of it. Just type the
Type
hell
the hell
out
out
of
of
it.
it. Yeah. Many positions require learned learned
Vic Jose is saying bye-bye. Sir, I'll have to go. I'll just check the video. Bye,
okay,
Vic
Vic.
Jose.
Yeah, Vic.
Have a great day.
Yeah, Vic did say that he needed to leave at around this time. Many positions require learned individuals owing to the fact that the said position cannot simply be fulfilled mm, uh, um, adequately without certain cerebral skills, such as those possessed by individuals with higher degrees in management. Hard work alone may not be sufficient to dutifully comply with the hard demands of upper management requirements. Someone has to have the right smarts. Okay. Only born by years of education. There. Do you follow? This is now.
Yes, sir.
These are now
I guess the point
that kill all of these. Do you follow? Do you follow? That's A2.
Yes, sir.
That's the A2 style. Okay. Of course, you can just do the A1 style by just agreeing. Maybe just break this down into 2 paragraphs. Okay. Questions? I'm now ready to conclude. Questions?
I guess you need to finish your conclusion first, and we're going to ask, sir.
Okay, and then let's end the recording. And
I'm going to ask after the conclusion.
Okay. Some people think, okay. To therefore conclude, this writer feels that hard work alone may not be enough for certain critical positions, and indeed, only certain individuals. This is similar to what I experienced in McDonald's. Like, there are a lot of hard workers in McDonald's, and they eventually get promoted to the position of manager. But suddenly, when they're managers, it's like they suddenly lost their productivity because all of a sudden it now shifts into a more, cerebral.
Lax.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't do hard work on management, right? You have to use a lot of your smarts on this kind of job there.
It's a mentally demanding job.
Yeah, it's more mentally demanding versus when you were just, cleaning tables or
Yeah, it's
flipping
just physically
burgers.
demanding.
Yeah, just physically demanding. You can work hard on these kinds of jobs. So suddenly you're a manager. Suddenly you gotta strategize. You gotta use your smarts. And only certain individuals who were fortunate enough there to receive quality education, hence making them more fully qualified for the position, can be deemed deserving of the salary that the education demands. Okay, it's like doctors and nurses, right? Right. It's like doctors and nurses. Nurses can work hard. What do you think about that analogy? Nurses can work hard, but doctors make the decisions, right? Do you follow? Do you follow what I mean? So you cannot expect a nurse to be paid the same as a doctor because, I mean, the training of a doctor is far superior than that of a nurse. Isn't it true that the job of a nurse is really merely ritualistic? You do the same things all the time, right, people? Am I making sense? Hello? Oh, Miggy! Any answers? But when you're a doctor, suddenly you're confronted with all sorts of different cases, and then you have to make crucial decisions that may or may not lead to the loss of life, right? That's why a doctor is paid higher. Right. Makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think we actually, yeah, the education of a doctor makes him highly qualified, which therefore justifies his salary. There. Okay. I mean, sad as
I guess
sad.
we need to emphasize that. Yeah, I guess we need to emphasize that doctors are dealing with the disease itself, and we are dealing with the patients, with the humans, and so we have different functions. Actually, we do have independent nursing. We have independent nursing interventions. We can function on our own. We can function on our own. We have what we call the advanced nurse practitioner, wherein they could diagnose as well, and they don't need a doctor. They could prescribe medication. That's in the United States. That's in the US.
But you need a certain kind of training for that, right?
So it's not ritualistic or repetitive as what other people are thinking.
In order to
depends on the area, probably.
But do you need training for this kind of position?
Yes, sir. You need to have training.
Of course.
Training, yeah.
Exactly.
Just cannot acquire the position.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, guys. But the lesson is really on sentence complexity. So you will see here, this is really arranged. This is a simple sentence, right? And then suddenly you now have a string of complex sentences following it there. It's really arranged. Okay. So you will notice that, okay, there. So you can really see some sentences are longer, some are not too long there. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's book that as a lesson. Let's save the document and then I will send it to all of you. What do we name this document? A junction. Let's name this document adjunction, and then I will be sending it to you, all of you. Let's stop the recording first.
We're done. We're not gonna do a crossover, sir.
That was a crossover that we did actually. The A2. We crossed over towards the other side that disagree. What, you wanna do another essay that's more like using the styles? Do you want?
No, sir. No. I mean, I think that's.
Like...
It's just maybe we have different ideas. That's why.
Okay. Wait. Adjunction. We gotta make a new folder on adjunction. There. You love the lesson on adjunction, guys? You love it? You love it?
I like it.
Okay.
Even though I'm confused.
Okay, yeah, but
I like it, but I'm confused.
This is just something extra. I mean, let me emphasize again. The more important thing is cardinal rule 2 in the problem solver. Cardinal rule 2 in the problem solver. There. 287 words. Okay. I'll stop the recording, guys. Hold on. Stopping the recording.